So the lesson in this today is about doing the small things, doing the little things. I know a good bit of contractors that, aren't willing to get off their tractor, aren't willing to, get off their equipment. You never see them with a shovel in their hand, that kind of thing. And my thought about that is, you got to do the small things also. When you think about a job, if you ever work someplace and you don't like what you're doing because you think you can handle more, you probably can handle more, but you're unwilling to do your current job and take care of those small things. So your supervisor might look at you and say, well, how am I supposed to promote you and give you more responsibility and handle larger projects or what have you if you can't just simply do the small stuff that I've assigned you? You got to be willing to do those little things if you want to be blessed with something more. I know a lot of preachers even that are really preaching the health, wealth, and prosperity gospel about, ask for big things, and that's certainly fine to do that, but don't be dependent on that. Don't just depend and kind of wait around for God to make something happen for you. You got to somewhat make it happen for yourself and demonstrate that you can handle smaller stuff. And, later on you'll be blessed with things that are larger and more lucrative or whatever. But you still got to be willing to work for what you have currently. And so this is a part of it, taking care of the little things. All right, today we're going to do something very simple. We're going to go spring fertilize a yard that I installed last fall. So it's a pretty sizable yard. I think it's like an acre and a half, and fairly new home build. It was just built a couple years ago, and I brought in like 200 yards of dirt. Had a buddy, kind of the main guy that I get dirt from, truck in a good bit of it. It was like 208 yards or something like that. I think we used almost 215. Spread it out on the entire lawn, which was great. Customer really liked that. Tilled it up, planted seed, and this was last fall, and this was about mid-September, which is a pretty good time to plant up here in the north, at least in North Dakota at least. So wanted to get it in the ground and let it grow and get some roots established, such that it could grow a little bit in the fall and then grow some more in the spring. So it's really not going to come in fully until probably mid-July, which some of you down south or even to the central portion of the United States probably think, wow, that's really late, but that's about typical up here in the north, especially in North Dakota at least. You might get a little bit sooner than that, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, but yeah, over here it takes a while. It just stays colder here, and if you use a mix of seed that has like bluegrass in it, those bluegrasses is like a rhizome type grass, so it takes a while. It spreads underneath, and then once it spreads, it kind of fills in, but it takes longer to establish. It doesn't grow. It's not a bunch grass. It doesn't grow in pods, so it takes longer. All right, here it is. Here's the front yard. So we did this last, I didn't do the ditch, but all the kind of brighter green stuff, we did all that. So it's coming in really, really nice. You can kind of see some of the lighter spots. They haven't mowed yet, so I mean, it's not really tall enough to mow, but you can see some spots that might look a little more bare. You can see some spots that have lines in it because of where we were pulling the drag to mix it in, but otherwise it looks really good. So we'll throw some fertilizer on this and see if we can get it to grow a little bit better. I think I need to cut that hole a little bigger. So at this stage, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about how I put in lawns. So I typically just use the old school method of tilling. So in this case, we brought in all that dirt. Brought in about 3 inches worth to cover a good 3 inches. And then I actually spread it out with my bucket. I try to compact it a little bit so that it makes a nice firm seed bed. Then once I get all the dirt spread out, I then put my tiller on the lowest setting, which is about 1 inch. And then I go through and I just till up that top 1 inch of soil. Then after that, I'll go ahead and broadcast the seed. And it depends on which seed you use, whether you're going to seed at a 5 pounds per 1,000 square feet or maybe 6 pounds per 1,000 square feet. It all depends on what grass you use. But I go ahead and then I broadcast everything. And then for a size of lawn like this, I typically use a drag. So I'll drag it behind an ATV. It's basically like a chain link fence or anything you can use to drag and mix in the seed into the soil. That seems to work best. And then once you get all that in, typically we'll throw on some starter fertilizer. You don't need a lot. It doesn't take much. And that's pretty much how I do it. Throw some water on it. So in this case, he has sprinklers, so it worked out great. Looks really nice. It's coming in nice and plush. And the grass is only about 1 inch tall right now. So once it gets to about 3 inches or so, it'll be about time to mow it. And it's going to look really, really good. Beautiful home. The homeowners are really nice. I kind of became friends with the dad here. He's a super nice guy. We kind of have similar personalities, and he likes to fish and hunt and that kind of stuff. So we got a lot in common to talk about. And so it's just great when you get to work for such nice people. So I might get some questions on why I didn't hydroseed, or maybe why the homeowner didn't want to hydroseed. I don't have the hydroseeding equipment, for one, and two, I've seen people hydroseed and they really don't do a very good job. I don't think they have the mixture right. I don't think they put enough on, and so sometimes it's kind of a gimmick. I'm old school. I like the old method of broadcast it and rake it in, because it actually sows the seed in the soil, and you have good soil to seed contact, and that produces really good lawns, and it always worked well for me. All right, that was good. I got my steps in for the day, that's for sure. I think that's going to come in really nice. That'll be great. Can't wait to see it in July. We need some heat. We've had rain, but we haven't had warm days. And that grass is really going to take off once it gets warm. That's really what it needs, is some warmth. So I wanted to support the lesson for today regarding taking care of small things with some scripture. So Luke chapter 16 verse 10 says, "One who is faithful in very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much." So he's talking about being faithful, being committed to something very little, then you'll also be the same with something very much. Likewise, on the opposite side of that, the dishonesty same principle applies. So that talks to, if you're able to hold on to a little bit and take care of it very well, be responsible, do that work, then you can also do that with a lot. You're proving to God that you can handle more. So don't be afraid to take care of the little things. Make sure you're doing it. You can prove that you can handle those. Therefore, you can also take on something larger, if that's what you desire. You may not want to take on anything larger. I kind of have my limit, and I know what that is. I don't really want to take on anything too big, but I do want to make sure that I'm diligent in taking care of the small things, right? If I can't do that, how can I expect more? How can I ask for a larger blessing? How can I ask for larger things, bigger and better things to happen in my life if I can't take care of the small things also? So that's all I got for y'all today. Thanks for checking out the lawn. And what a miracle. If you don't believe in miracles, what a miracle it is just to put something in the ground and all of a sudden it grows. Like, that's just amazing to me. I mean, how easy it is to create life like that. So very cool. You know God is at work. You know He's working hard. If you can't see God, that's it right there. I mean, if you're looking, well, I don't know where God is. Well, put something in the ground and just see what happens, and all of a sudden it grows and it produces something. It's like magic. All right, take care, have a good day, and we'll see y'all later.